Alright, welcome back. Day 10 of ACT Prep Unit 1, Pre-Algebra 1 topics. We're going to be talking about positive and negative numbers today. So you can visualize positive and negative numbers on a number line. A plus sign before a number means that the number is to the right of 0. Here's like equal. All of these are to the positive. And on this side is all of the negatives. A negative sign before a number means that the number is to the left of 0. So when you write positive 15, you can put plus 15 or just 15. Everybody understands that if you don't write a symbol or a sign of a number that is assumed to be positive, to make it write a number as a negative, you've got to put the negative in front of it, obviously. Alright, absolute value means the distance from 0 to the number. It doesn't care about directions. So the absolute value of 5 is 5 because on a number line, from 0 to get to 5 is 5 steps. Likewise, the absolute value of negative 5 is 5 because from 0, it doesn't matter I'm going left, it's still 5 steps to get to negative 5. You're not looking at direction when you talk about absolute value. You're just looking at the distance from 0. The absolute value of 0 is 0. When you have math to do inside the absolute value bars, you do inside first. So 19 minus 37 is negative 18. And the distance from 0 is 18 steps. Okay? You can do absolute value on your calculator. What you do is you hit the math key right here, then you arrow over to num, and anytime you want absolute value, it's choice 1. So you hit math, use your arrow to arrow over to num, and then choose choice 1, and you can get your absolute value bars on your calculator. Alright, comparing positive and negative numbers. Basically, whoever's the rightest is the biggest on a number line. Okay, if you're comparing signs, you can use these rules. If the signs of the numbers are different, the positive number is greater, obviously. So this one's positive, he's negative, so positive is greater. That's positive, it's greater than negative. Positive is greater than negative always. Okay, so that's easy. If you're comparing two positive numbers, then it's like we've always done. You got 203.3 and 203.1. Well, 3 is bigger than 1, so that's the bigger number. Fractions, I turn them to decimals. This is 0.5 and this is 0.75. 7 is bigger than 5, so 3/4 is bigger. Whole numbers are easy. 71 is bigger than 65. Something. If both signs are negative, it's got to be opposite, guys. It's basically the larger numeral represents the smaller number. So when they're both negative, alright, then you've got to look at basically the biggest one is the smallest one. So if I ignore signs, 8 and 908, 908 is the bigger number, which on the negative side really means it's the smallest number because it's going to be more to the left. Okay, so here's a decimal. This is negative 0.14285. I just typed it in the calculator. Negative 7/8 is negative 0.875. Okay, 0.1, 0.8, 8 is bigger, which really makes it the smallest one on the negative side. And why they put this example here, I'm not sure, because this one isn't even negative. So obviously positive is always bigger than negative. Alright, you try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully they want the one that is false. Okay? Well, again, if you ignore signs, 100 and something is bigger than 90 something, but on the negative side, that makes this guy the smallest number. So this should be facing this way, which makes that one false. And since it doesn't say the others are choices, I mean, you can check them real quick, but once you found the false one, you're done. Alright? Alright, absolute value. You can do this with your brain. This is going to be 8. Or, like I said, you can use your graphing calculator. You hit math, num, ABS, and I don't know about your calculator. The older ones, when you type it, it will do ABS and open bars or parentheses, and then you type what's in it and close it, and then hit enter, and it'll give you the same thing. Mine actually prints the bars, but yours might say ABS and open parentheses. Okay, so for 2, I type that in. Absolute value of 58 minus 41 is 17 steps. The absolute value of 13 plus 12 is 25. The absolute value of 17 is 17. Absolute value of 41 minus 7 is 34. Absolute value of negative 54 is 54. Absolute value of 13.5 minus 13 is 0.5. And if they want a fraction, math enter it. Absolute value of 39,000 is 39,000. Alright, to fill in the blanks, positive is always bigger than negative. Both positive, bigger number is biggest. Both negative, smallest number is the biggest. Okay, so I've got negative 1/6, which, just a second here. I put it on the calculator. Okay. Negative 1/6 is negative 0.16 repeating. Negative 5/6 is negative 0.8. Negative 0.8 is bigger, which actually means that one is the smallest one. Alright, when we do these, you can turn them to decimals to compare them. They're both positive, and 7 something's bigger than 5 something, so that one's easy. These are both negative. Tie on 2, tie on 0, tie on 8, tie on 7. 6 is bigger than 5, so this is the biggest, but on the negative side, that makes it the smallest. Okay? I got negative 7/16, which is negative 0.43, blah, 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 and this one is negative 0.46. They're both negative, so the biggest is really the smallest. 0.4 is tied. 6 is bigger than 3, so this one's the biggest, which really on the negative side makes it the smallest. So I got to point at it. It's going to eat the bigger number. Both negative, biggest is actually smallest. One negative, one positive. Positive is always bigger than negative. Absolute value of negative 45 is 45, and 46 is biggest. Okay, this is going to be negative 20. The absolute value of negative 19 is 19. Positive is always bigger than negative. Okay, 74 minus 32 is 42. So I got 42 and 33. 42 is bigger. I got 65, and the absolute value of 64 is 64. 65 is bigger. Okay. Alright, you try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. It says the symbol greater than could be used to make all of the following true except for which one? Well, if I put them in and see if they're true. Is 4 positive bigger than a negative? Yes, that's true. The absolute value of negative 35 is 35, which is positive, which is bigger than a negative, so that's true. A negative is never bigger than a positive, so that's false. This would have to point this way. Absolute value negative 15 is 15, which is bigger than 4, and obviously a positive is bigger than a negative, so the false one is C. Okay, try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got 3. It says, which of the following choices contain all true statements? Well, the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. Less than 2, that's false. Negative 6 is bigger than negative 1, that's false. And when you're on the negative side, the biggest is really the smallest. 3 is true because a positive is always bigger than a negative. So the only one that's true is 3. Okay, oops. I guess that didn't really help with the answer up there. Try this one, and hopefully you got 3. Okay, I typed it in, 5, this is going to be, the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. That's 8. Take away 8, it's nothing, so you get 3. Try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got J. Alright, this one is negative 3. The absolute value of negative 9 is 9. That's 4. That's negative 5. And the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. So smallest to biggest would be the negative 5, the negative 3, the 4, the absolute value of negative 9, and the absolute value of negative 10. That would be in order from smallest to biggest. And try this one. Hit pause. Come back when you're ready. and the largest number. Well, this is negative. The absolute value is positive 120, which is bigger than that, which is bigger than a negative. That's 105, and it's bigger than that. So 120 would be the biggest. And we are done with day 10. And I will see you next time for day 11.